Find numbers on the abacus. Whenever a child or a kid is admitted to an abacus class, the first thing that he needs to be taught is to get friendly with abacus. That is, the abacus is a complete stranger to him when he joins the class. So first thing he needs to know is how do we identify numbers on the abacus. So in this video tutorial, I'll be explaining how we identify numbers on the abacus. Okay. So as you can see in the abacus that I have in front of me here, this is a 13 rod student abacus. Okay. There are 13 individual rods on this abacus, as you can see. Then we can see that there are some white dots on this middle bar. Okay. There are 5 white dots in this middle bar. Some students might have larger abacus, maybe 15 rods or 17 rods. Some might have smaller ones like 11 rods or even 7 rods or 9 rods. The number of rods do not matter much for basic calculations of addition and subtraction on the abacus. So in this case, we have a 13 rod abacus with us, but the way that we identify numbers on the abacus is exactly the same on all abacus. Okay, whether it be 15 rods, 17 rods, or a smaller abacus, or this one, the way to identify numbers is exactly the same. In most cases, what we do is first we have to fix up a rod as our units place rod. Okay, we have 13 rods in all. Each rod represents a place value. So as we have numbers 1 digit or 2 digit or 3 digit or larger numbers, there are place values in it, starting from units place, then tens place, then hundreds place, then thousands place, and so on. Okay, so let's fix up one rod as the units place. In most abacus classes or abacus institutions, the middle rod, exactly the middle white dot, the rod corresponding to that, is considered as the units place rod. Okay, so in my abacus, this is the exactly middle white dot, so the rod corresponding to it will be my units place rod. Okay, so the one next to it, on the left, will be the tens place rod, then the hundreds place rod, then the thousands place rod, and so on. Okay, so whenever we are dealing with numbers like 1 digit or 2 digit or up to 3 digit numbers, we will be dealing with these 3 rods primarily. Okay, units place, tens place, and hundreds place. So other rods are not required much in the initial stages of the abacus class. Okay, so the other rods are mainly required when we are dealing with very large numbers or when we are doing division on the abacus. So that is at a later stage when the student is already very friendly with the abacus. So let's start with 1 digit numbers. So on the units place, currently as we can see on all rods in specific, on all rods we have 4 individual beads in the lower part of the abacus. Okay, so we have 4 individual beads on each rod on the lower part of the abacus. Lower part means the part below this central bar. Okay, this is not exactly in the middle, but you can say that below this bar we have 4 individual beads on each rod, and we have 1 individual bead on each rod on the upper side of the bar. Okay, so there are total 5 beads on each rod. Now using these 5 beads, we will be representing numbers from 0 to 9 on each rod. Okay, so whenever the upper beads are away from the bar and lower beads are also away from the bar, that is, lower beads are on the lower side, the upper beads are on the higher side, the number represented on the abacus is 0. Okay, as of now, nothing is touching this middle bar, none of the beads are touching this middle bar, so the number on the abacus is 0. Whenever I take this one bead up to the bar, it starts touching the bar, it gets counted. Now we can say that the number on the abacus is 1. That is, on the units place I have taken one bead touching the bar, so the number is 1 on the abacus. If I take one more bead, it becomes 2 on the abacus. One more, it will become 3. One more, and it will become 4. Now the number on the abacus is 4. Now we don't have any more beads on the lower side. So for 5 or a number higher than 5, what we need to do is we will remove all these lower beads, take this upper bead, okay, the single upper bead, will bring it down, it starts touching the middle bar, and it starts getting counted now. Now this upper bead has a value of 5, okay, so this bead alone is counted as 5. So whenever this bead along with one lower bead is counted in this fashion, that is now the upper bead and one lower bead is in play, the number on the abacus is 6. It is 5 plus 1, that is 6. Okay, so in this fashion, for any digit larger than 5, we'll be using a combination of the upper bead as well as the lower beads. So now this is 6. If I add one more, it becomes 5 plus 2, that is 7. If I take one more, it becomes 5 plus 3, that is 8. And if I take one more, now all the beads on the abacus are in use on that particular rod. So the number on the abacus is 5 plus 4, that is 9. Okay. So in this way, all the one digit numbers can be represented on the abacus. Let's quickly have a look at it again. Okay, starting with 0, nothing touching the bar, it's 0. If I take one bead from the lower side only, it is 1. Now we have 2 beads in use, so the number is 2. We have 3 beads in use on the lower side, the number is 3. Now we have 4 beads in use on the lower side, so the number is 4. Now for 5, what we do is we remove all these lower beads, we take the single upper bead, and now the value on the abacus is 5. For numbers beyond 5, we'll be using the upper bead as well as lower bead. So 5 plus 1 lower bead, it becomes 6. 5 plus 2 lower beads, it becomes 7. 5 plus 3 lower beads, it becomes 8. And 5 plus 4 lower beads, it becomes 9. Okay, so in this way, all the one digit numbers have been represented on the abacus. Now let's look at 2 digit numbers. So in case of 2 digit numbers, one digit is on the tens place, the other digit is on the units place. Let's take an example. Suppose we want to show the number 24 on the abacus. Okay, so in case of 24, what we need to do is we need to have 2 on the tens place. Now this is our tens place rod. So on this rod, I need to represent 2. Okay, I have taken 2 on the tens place. For 24, I need to represent 4 on the units place. Okay, so on the units place rod, I'll take 4 beads. So now the number that we have on the abacus is 24. Just like we write on a paper with 2, 4, we have to represent the same the number on the abacus in the same fashion. So it is 2 on the tens place, 4 on the units place, and we have the 2 digit number 24. Okay, so the digits, individual digits that we represent are exactly the same on each rod of the abacus. Just as I demonstrated the digits on the units place for one digit numbers, the representation of digits on each rod is in same fashion. Okay, no change at all. The only thing that changes is the place value. So now this 2 on the tens place becomes actually 20. Okay, this is 2 on the tens place, so 20, and this is 4, so 24. Let's take another example. Suppose I need to show 73. For 73, I need to show 7 on the tens place. To have 7 on the tens place, I'll do 5 plus 2 on the tens place. And for 3 on the units place, I will just push 3 beads up. Now the number that we have on the abacus is 73. This is 5 plus 2, 7 on the tens place, and only 3 lower beads on the units place. So the number is 73. Remember, whenever a child is being taught this, he needs to be explained that it is very important to check whether the upper bead is in use or not. So whenever the upper bead is in use, the digit on that particular rod has to be 5 or greater than 5. Sometimes the kids just count the number of beads and say that this will become 3. But the most important part is this is not all the 3 beads on the lower side. It has got 1 upper bead and 2 lower beads. So the digit on this rod is different. It is 5 plus 2, that is 7, and this is 3, which is only the 3 lower beads. Hence the digit here is 3. So the number in all is 73 here. Okay, so while teaching this to the kids, be very careful that you have to remind them that they have to check whether the bead in use is on the upper side or not. Okay, the upper bead is in use or not. Let's take another example for a 2 digit number. I need to show the number 49. For 49, I need to have 4 on the units place. So I'll push these 4 beads on the tens place. 4 on the tens place, I have taken it in this fashion. For 9 on the units place, I need to use all the beads. So this 5 and this 4. So all the beads I have taken in use, and the number that we have on the abacus is 49 now. So suppose I need to show the number just 61. For 61, I need to show 6 on the tens place. For 6, it will be 5 plus 1 on the tens place, and for 61, that is 1 on the units place, I need to bring just one lower bead to the bar, and the number that we have on the abacus is 61. Let's move to 3-digit numbers now. So in case of 3 digits, as you must have guessed by now, we'll be making use of 3 rods: the units place rod, the tens place rod, and the hundreds place rod. Okay, so let's take an example. Suppose we need to show the number 175 on the abacus. So I'll start with the leftmost rod, the hundreds place rod here. This is the third rod, which is the hundreds place. So for 175, I need 1 on the hundreds place, then 7 on the tens place. So for tens place, I'll take 7 in like this, and 5 on the units place, so I'll take just the 5 here. So the number that we have on the abacus right now is 175. Let's take another example. Now I'm showing you a number. This number, some students when they are just learning abacus and identifying numbers, or learning identification of numbers on the abacus, they'll tell you that this number is 37, but it is wrong. In this case, the 3 is on the hundreds place. Okay, this becomes 300. There is nothing on the tens place. I have not taken a single bead in use on the tens place, so there is 0 on the tens place. Whenever no bead is in use, it is 0 there. And then we have 7 on the units place. Okay, so this number that we have on the abacus is 307, that is 307. Okay, so be very careful when teaching this to kids. You have to show them examples like these also, where there is a digit absent in the middle, so that is to be represented as 0. Okay, that is to be counted as 0 on that, for that particular place value. Let's take one more example. Now this number, some will say this is 87, but it's not. It is 870, because now we have 0 on the units place. Okay, so the number that we have is 8 on the hundreds place, 7 on the tens place, and 0 on the units place. So this is 870 on the abacus. Let's take one more example. Okay, now we have 3 on the hundreds place, 4 on the tens place, and 5 on the units place. So the number that we have is 345. Now another possibility of students making mistakes in the initial stages while reading numbers is they count this as 4 and 5 on the same rod, and they'll say this is 9. Sometimes it happens. So you tell the kids that they have to be careful to see whether the beads are on the same rod or not. The upper bead and the lower beads have to be on the same rod to be added. Okay, so this is on the separate rod. This 4 is on the tens place, this 5 is on the units place. So this number that we have is 345. Okay, let's take a couple of more examples quickly. Now this number will be 600. Okay, 6 on the hundreds place, 4 on the tens place, and 2 on the units place. So this is 642. And this number will be 951. Okay, 9 on the hundreds place, 5 on the tens place, 1 on the units place. Okay, so in this fashion I would explain you how we identify numbers on the abacus, starting with 1-digit numbers. Each digit, the way we represent, I have already explained. The representation of each digit on each rod is exactly the same, no change. Only thing that changes is the place value. So whenever we need to use represent a 3-digit or a 4-digit or larger number, we make use of that many rods on the abacus according to their place value. So, and remember, this middle white dot will be our units place rod. So everything else will be according to that. So tens place, hundreds place, thousands place will be placed on the immediate left of each other. Okay, units place, then tens place, hundreds place, thousands place, and so on. So I hope this video tutorial is useful to you all who are learning abacus. You have just started learning abacus, and if you like this video tutorial, please do press the like button, and you may please share this video as well with your other friends who are also just starting to learn abacus now. Thank you.